breaking news this evening for all Manchester United fans that Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos have agreed the 25% stake in Manchester United. This has been a long time coming for Manchester United and for all fans of the club. We are fucking over this now. First it was going to be Jake Jassim's 100% stake in Manchester United, and then that fell through and it has now become a 25% stake. Now obviously a lot of people were against this happening because it keeps the Glazers in charge, but Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos will be running the footballing side of things, and I feel that he probably wants to get 100% stake in Manchester United at some point in the future. But this is probably the most positive Manchester United have been in years, because he does want to improve a lot of things at Manchester United, bring back the standards at Manchester United, because at this moment in time the standards are on their arse. They really are completely on their arse. They have been for a number of years, and hopefully he can get the right people in place to do the right jobs at Manchester United in order to bring Manchester United back to the top of English football again at some point in the future. It's going to take time. Recruitment of players, recruitment of staff, putting people in the right place, it's all going to take time. I mean, all the recruitment at Manchester United has been poor. The infrastructure, the stadium, the training ground facilities, all that needs to be done. I mean, we need to do something with Old Trafford for sure. That is going to have to be done. There are reports that could be improved and built upon and turned into a 90,000+ seat stadium, which would be great. The training ground looks like it's going to be improved on, which is fantastic news at some point in time. This is going to take time, because I don't think Sir Jim Ratcliffe has got this sort of money in his back pocket to just pump into Manchester United, but this will probably be a process over time. And if Manchester United could get more successful on the pitch, then they could probably afford it in the future. Obviously if they didn't have the Glazers in charge for a number of years, we would have been able to afford to have increased the capacity of the ground, improved the ground as a whole, modernised the ground and the training facilities with our own money. But because the Glazers have taken so much money out on dividends and debt, that hasn't been able to happen, and hopefully now in the future that can happen. But we're probably going to have to get back more successful on the pitch, generate more income and stuff like that to enable us to do more things like that, because I'm not sure how much Sir Jim Ratcliffe is going to pump straight into Manchester United. But it is positive news on the eve of Christmas that Sir Jim Ratcliffe has now got 25% stake in Manchester United. Now obviously he's not a spring chicken himself, he is an old geezer himself, but I believe that this will be owned by Ineos, and obviously he does own Ineos, so so if anything was to happen to Sir Jim Ratcliffe in the near future, it would go into Ineos' hands. So we will have to see what happens in the future on this. I know some people are a bit sceptical because Nice haven't exactly pulled up trees in France, but they are up against the juggernaut of Paris Saint-Germain, but they still haven't really finished close to them in years, so that is a concern. But Manchester United is a different animal. I mean, Manchester United generates so much money as it is. We spend so much money on players, on wages and everything else. We can attract the top level of football. We have done for a number of years. We brought in a number of big names players over the years, even when we've been shite. So some haven't worked out, we do understand that, but we've still been able to attract big name players, bring back Cristiano Ronaldo, bring in the likes of Zlatan Ibrahimovic, even when Manchester United have been on their knees and on the fucking floor. So we can still attract it. We could quite easily go up to 100,000 seat stadium and fill that fucking every single week. We are still by far the most talked about, the most biggest club certainly in the English game, and probably the biggest talked about club in European football. So we can still attract it. I know we can. Hopefully Sir Jim can turn this around. It's going to take a long time for anything to change. I wouldn't expect drastic changes to happen this season. I wouldn't expect Manchester United to bring in many signings in January and stuff like that, but we can expect to hopefully something can change in the future. I mean, I was a bit doom and gloom when this was officially received, when Sheikh Jassim was no longer the man to take over Manchester United. I would have preferred that, the 100% buyout of the Glazers. But if you'd offered this to a number of fans, a pathway to the Glazers potentially leaving the club 3, 4, 5 years ago, any fan would have beat your hands off for that. and it's just that we had the other option there on the table, which for me would have been the better of the two options. But we will have to wait and see. There still could be a pathway out of getting the Glazers out of Manchester United. We do hope. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and if you're watching this on Facebook, please do hit the share button, and I'll talk to you all again soon. See ya.